What is going on, guys? In the last video, I explored amphibious e-bikes, what it would take to actually get one of those, and it led me down a rabbit hole. I found that you can actually put a track on your e-bike as well. You could do some insane trail riding in the snow. I've seen people taking jumps with these bikes on snowboarding hills or ski hills, whatever you prefer. And it just looks so fun. You can buy this little track kit online. Actually looks identical to this setup. Yeah, so this is the one you can buy online. He's flying. Unbelievable. When you Google it, you find powercurvecycles.com. Oh, I see they have a E-Ride Pro in this picture here. And this is the bike that I have. So basically, you remove the rear tire, your chain, you have a custom chain that goes onto a sprocket on the track, and then you just take your front tire out and put this probably has an axle. You could probably use your stock axle. You just attach this front sled onto it. Generally with e-bikes, with electric vehicles, they're not really good in cold weather. Extreme cold below 40 and extreme heat above 100 to 110 is bad for e-bikes. If you own a vehicle, you know the winter is terrible for your battery. Sometimes your car won't start. Having a fresh battery in there, they're only $100, which is nice. If you have a bad battery in your car, you can just replace it. Now on an e-bike, the battery is like $1 to $2 grand. So you don't exactly want to do this to your e-bike. You don't want to put it through these temperatures if you want it to last. So that's a huge issue with this. You know, it's going to be a great time, but when you're done riding this, you're going to want to put the bike inside right away. There's so many cool options out there. This is a slightly different design. Very similar though. It doesn't have that hump in the back. And basically all you need for a sustainable bike like this is to have some kind of heater on the battery. You know, like I don't know if that's what this is on here or if that's just a fancy design. It looks like he's got a massively upgraded battery for the Suron as well. But you know, most of the time, if it's snowy outside, it's gonna be somewhere around 40 or below that. And if it's above that, it's just gonna be, you know, you're gonna be soaked. So this company, they saw this idea and they decided to make their own design. And I love it. They figured it out.
On these bikes, none of us have ridden these bikes before, so it's all gonna be new.
What is a Moonbike, you may ask? Well, they're one of a kind. It's got a monoski up front, bolted to a mountain bike style fork, and in the back, it's got a 10-inch wide track, which is powered by a single 72-volt battery, which we'll have two of, both of which are secured inside an electrically warmed battery compartment.
There you go.
When running both batteries...
Now it's massive. It's huge. And that's because you need this huge container to hold this battery in. And the container needs to be heated. So it needs to be insulated for it to be efficient. This thing is heavy. This rear sprocket is humongous. I don't know if this must be a hub motor. I'm guessing this is a hub.
When running both batteries, The Moonbike weighs roughly 221 pounds.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, so a little heavy. My E-Ride Pro 3.0 is 170 with the battery in it and everything. 220 pounds is not light. I have a feeling this thing doesn't go very fast. Just a cruiser, you know. A very smart, extremely smart design. You have a heated container for the batteries. The batteries are not going to take any damage. You have a hub motor, so you don't have to worry about snow getting packed into like a bad spot. Adding a track onto your existing e-bike is going to cost $2,600. You get it used, probably maybe a little bit under $2,000. You could get one used. I would assume $2,600, and then the front ski, you got to pay a little extra for. Not too shabby. So here's the Moonbike, $8,900 for a Moonbike. It's more expensive than the E-Ride Pro SR. It's more expensive than most of your high-powered bikes. It's under the Stark Varg. The Stark Varg is like, I believe, 10 to 12 grand. You're spending a lot for this. Max range 40 miles. That's not that far. Honestly, you're probably going to be ripping it the whole time, deep in the snow or trying to go somewhere fast, having a good time. So you're not going to go very far with this thing. It's already massive enough. Try to upgrade the battery. You're going to need a new, completely different battery housing. This idea is so cool. Don't get me wrong, but a little bit too pricey for me, I think, and not fast enough. These guys had a little ride out.
First ride with the track and go surron. As you can see, we have 7 track and go surron running. We have, I think 5 of them are only 60 volt and 2 of them, so the blue one you're gonna see and myself are running the 72.
You mix this design with the heated bike design. If there's a way to buy a heated sleeve, like a heating pad, like a heating blanket almost, you get yourself a heating blanket and you wrap it around that battery and plug it into the bike with like a USB. Look, he's flying. I don't know if that's 63 kilometers per hour. Almost looked like he was popping wheelies right there.
Oh, that's nice.
So we have this guy. This guy has an insanely powerful e-bike. It's got to be a 90 volt battery. Yeah, I think that is a Stark Varg. It looks like it. Very custom. This guy is doing jumps. No way. People are crazy. People are insane. And then we have this guy. This is not electric, obviously, but
What happens when you race the world's smallest snow bike versus this super overpowered electric pit bike.
yeah, electric wins. Let's go.
The snow bike couldn't get traction on the launch, but once it did get grip, it overtook the electric. In deep snow, it does pretty well.
I don't know how this guy is getting so much traction. Like that. That's impressive.
But in deep snow,
He must have like a really knobby tire on there.
was the control in the snow. But in deep snow, it does pretty well.
Now we have the best idea, minus, the battery heater. They need to add a battery heater to this design. But shout out C-Boys, always messing around on dirt bikes. So these guys got a hold of a couple Stark Vargs, and they decided to do some crazy stuff to it.
Close enough, man. Close enough.
I'm not trying to cause you guys any stress, but they don't match up.
No shit. That's the build part, Dalton. This has got to be the coolest snow bike I've ever seen. I think it's just because it looks...
I would agree. Absolutely insane what they did to this thing. Definitely wasn't intended to connect to this directly. I believe they had to make some kind of mount.
You guys any stress, but they don't match up.
They had to modify some stuff.
Well, that didn't take long.
They threw tracks on everything. They threw tracks on a Harley. They threw tracks on a three-wheeler. They had tracks on a truck. I believe it was just a whole YouTuber collaboration. They all got together. I was not invited. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Maybe they'll invite me next time. I'll throw a track on my E-Ride Pro and rip it up with them.
We're about to attempt to make it up this huge hill here that I'm standing on. There's no way that Gavin makes it more than halfway up this thing. Let's go, baby!
You can see the e-bike, the Stark Varg is just eating it up. It's meant for this.
I gotta keep moving, just keep moving! Holy shit!
He's popping wheelies on that thing. Oh my god, they threw it on a Yamaha. The ability to continue riding for a long period of time when it's really cold out is very important. You don't really get that with your normal e-bike attachment. You don't get that. This is not going to last in the winter at all. With this, you're flying through anything that you could ever imagine. You're still able to probably do some hill climbing, and you have a heated case. It's so cool. Maybe you upgrade the motor on this thing, upgrade the battery. You upgrade the battery, you have to upgrade this whole case. These are just it's not the best idea for your bike. I think I'll do a thumbnail again where I put this bike on the screen and put bad idea again. You're going to ruin your bike doing this. Who's gonna immediately bring this bike back into a heated place? I guess you could just grab the battery out. You could make sure to get the battery out immediately and put it back into a warm spot. But overall, really cool idea. I think I'd buy one of these if they weren't so expensive, just to mess around. But at this price, you might as well just get a snowmobile. You can get a snowmobile for that price. It says here, a good new snowmobile typically costs between $8 to $14. So it's really not a practical thing, but it's super fun. It's super cool. I would rather buy this conversion kit where you just attach this to your e-bike and you're good to go. You just want to make sure that you bring the battery inside with you after like 20 to 30 minutes, and especially if it's really cold outside. So yeah, you just want to bring that battery back inside like immediately when you're done riding. And unfortunately, that's not always going to be the easiest thing to do. I was talking about this on my last video. When you have a lot of moisture constantly washing away the grease on your chain, it wears everything out faster. And snowmobiles have it figured out. And it's probably a massive sprocket, a massive chain, and it's all protected very well. That would be the thing to really be cautious of, is how much that grease is actually washing off of your bike. But yeah, maybe I'll get one and I'll make a video about it. It would be super cool to rip around. First thing is I'd have to find some trails around here. I'm sure I could figure something out. My normal videos where I do vlogging, I could probably use those same trails. But yeah, I thought I would just do a deep dive into this. There's some really crazy people out there that are doing jumps and just absolutely ripping it on these trails with these track e-bikes. And I just thought it was super cool. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Peace.